of Argentina.
I'd like to welcome the people of Antigua and Barbuda,
The Bahamas.
Welcome.
Do you know that Argentina is the home to both the highest and the lowest points of the southern hemisphere?
Really? And there are 700 islands in the Bahamas.
Antigua and Barbuda have a peak named after President Obama.
Rihanna is from Barbados.
Whoa!
Cool. And welcome to the people of Barbados.
Daremos las boas-vindas.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Nos gustaría dar la bienvenida.
The people of Belize.
Bolivia.
And Brazil.
I just learned that Canada's lowest record temperature is as cold as Mars.
And you know what else? Chile has the world's biggest swimming pool.
Isso é muito divertido.
What?
I'd like to welcome the people of Chile.
Canada.
Cuba.
Welcome to the people of Colombia.
Le damos la bienvenida a la gente de Costa Rica.
And guess what? Do you know which country in the Americas has 9 active volcanoes?
Which one?
Dominica! Welcome to the people of Dominica.
Did you know that the summit of Mount Chimborazo, Ecuador's highest mountain, is the closest you could get to space with your feet still on the ground?
Welcome to the people of Ecuador.
Welcome to the people of the Dominican Republic.
I'm Andy. And I'm Valentina.
And we'd like to welcome the people of El Salvador,
Of Grenada.
And Guyana.
I'm proud to tell you that Guatemala is often called the birthplace of chocolate.
Yummy.
Welcome to the people of Guatemala.
To the people of Haiti. And Honduras.
Here's something interesting. Reggae music icon Bob Marley was from Jamaica.
Mexico is home to the world's largest pyramid. Incredible! I'm welcoming the people of Jamaica.
People of Mexico. Vamos, Mexico!
Welcome to the people of Nicaragua.
Panama.
Paraguay!
Can you believe that Panama is the only country in the world where you can watch the sun rise on the Pacific coast and then set on the Atlantic coast? I love that you can swim in the Amazon with the pink dolphins in Peru.
And that St. Lucia was the first country to be named after a woman.
Welcome.
The people of
Peru!
St. Lucia.
And St. Kitts and Nevis.
Welcome. I'd like to welcome the people of St. Vincent and Grenadines.
La gente de
Suriname.
y Trinidad y Tobago.
I've got one more amazing stat. There are over 80 million dogs in the United States.
Aww, cute.
Did you know that Uruguay was the first country in South America to ever host a football World Cup?
Welcome the people of
The United States.
Uruguay.
and Venezuela. Welcome.
welcome.
Welcome to
The 2022
Summit of the Americas.
in Los Angeles.
On behalf of all the children of Los Angeles,
we welcome the leaders of the Americas to the City of Angels.
Well, thank you, and welcome. Thank you to our children, and thank you for reminding us, please take your seats, reminding us why we are gathered here today in the City of Angels for the 9th Summit of the Americas, to put our collective heads and our hearts to work in forging a vision and a plan for a world that we want to share, not just in our hemisphere or our countries or our cities, but for these angels, our children, estos ángeles, nuestros niños. I'm Mayor Eric Garcetti, and I'm so honored to say welcome, bienvenidos, bienvenue, bienvenido to my hometown, el pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de los Ángeles de Porciúncula, or as we just call it, LA. A city of belonging built by dreamers and doers from every corner of the hemisphere. Una ciudad donde todos pertenecen, creada por gente con sueños y poblaciones de cada esquina de este hemisferio. A city of the future, where we meet challenges with creativity and with cooperation. Una ciudad del futuro.
A city of the future, where we tackle any challenge with creativity and cooperation.
And although we all have lived through these past few years, some of the most difficult years we've ever lived with the toughest challenges any of us have ever faced. This is our time to come together. Esta es nuestra oportunidad de unirnos, to listen, to learn, to emerge stronger, smarter, and more unified than ever, leading with strength and, yes, with love. This is what we are called to do urgently for ourselves and for our neighbors, for our nations and for our planet. It is now my great joy to introduce my dear friend and the leader of our Golden State, Governor Gavin Newsom.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I love what Mayor Garcetti's talked about, dreamers and doers. I love to say that about not just LA, but California, a state of dreamers, doers, entrepreneurs, innovators, a state like our nation that prides itself on being on the leading and cutting edge of new ideas. You are in one of the most diverse cities, LA, in the most diverse region, in the most diverse state, California, in the world's most diverse democracy. And we're proud of that. We don't tolerate our diversity, we celebrate our diversity. That's our strength. We're a universal state. And so, you know, I couldn't imagine a better place for all of you to be. Here's a word you don't hear a lot, particularly in America, and that's pluralism. California practices pluralism. And I sit here very proud, Kiara reminding me, all these young kids. I sit here as governor of California, where 27% of us are foreign born, but over 50%, half our children, have one or more parents that are foreign born. It just doesn't exist anywhere else but here in the state of California. That is a deep point of pride. And by the way, it is a point of pride for me to introduce to you someone who is the manifestation of the best of California values and the best of American values, our very own, the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Well, I know our future is bright when I look at these young leaders. Governor Gavin Newsom, thank you for that introduction. It is, of course, so good to be back in my home state of California. And to everyone here, on behalf of our administration, it is my honor to officially welcome you to the 9th Summit of the Americas. And of course, we are here together with world leaders, local elected officials, including our host city mayor, Garcetti, business and civil society leaders, and of course, the President of the United States, Joe Biden. As many of you may know, I am a proud daughter of California. I represented this state as Attorney General and as a United States Senator, and I am proud to call Los Angeles my home. As Vice President, I am pleased to acknowledge, as the Governor mentioned, California is a place where ambitions and dreams become reality. And so we all gather in Los Angeles this week for the Summit of the Americas with big ambitions. Ambitions that began 28 years ago in Miami at the first ever Summit of the Americas, when our nations together set the Western Hemisphere on a new path, a path to grow our economies and improve the lives of our people. And together, we have made progress on this path, a path that I believe is critically important for so many of us, and I will speak important for the American people, because the Western Hemisphere directly affects the security and prosperity of the United States. And so, this week, we gather once more to build a more prosperous and inclusive future. I look out at this room and I see representatives of so many different countries and communities. We are joined, of course, by heads of state, and we are joined by youth leaders. We are joined by CEOs, and we are joined by labor organizers, women entrepreneurs, activists, and advocates. So here's how I see it. To realize a more prosperous future for our hemisphere, partnerships between those assembled here are essential. It is in this spirit that I have focused on bringing companies and organizations together to collaborate and coordinate and share lessons learned, and to galvanize billions of dollars in new investments. The challenges facing our hemisphere in the months and years ahead are significant. The climate crisis, food insecurity, economic inequality, corruption, and gender-based violence. When I think about these challenges, I know, and I am certain, they will require new and innovative coalitions to solve, which is why President Joe Biden and I see this week as an opportunity for all of us, an opportunity to launch new initiatives, to begin new conversations, and to build new partnerships. So let us enjoy this evening and also commit ourselves to taking advantage of this time that we spend together under the same roof. At this convening, let us build a more prosperous and inclusive future for the entire Western Hemisphere. Thank you and welcome.
Los Angeles, the city of angels. Nearly 4 million people live here. Nearly 50 million people visit here every year. Men and women, people young and old. People of every race and ethnicity come together right here. And that's why this year, the Summit of the Americas is being hosted in Los Angeles. Because we know that diversity is our strength, and unity makes progress possible. At Los Angeles museums and concert halls, art and music challenge us to transcend boundaries. On its shoreline, the ocean waters connect us all. And at the world-famous Griffith Observatory, we are reminded that we are part of something much, much bigger. Los Angeles proves that when people play together, or work together, learn together, or dream together, anything is possible. Los Angeles proves that in the face of disaster and distress, the solution is not just on us, it is us. So as we come together for this historic summit, let us remember the visionaries who dreamt up this city, the workers who built it up, and the millions of Angelinos who keep this city going today and every day. In the City of Angels, you need not look up to the heavens to find hope. Just look around you. The Summit of the Americas. Welcome to Los Angeles.
In the mirror, doesn't matter who are you or where you come from, and no woman, no worry, no fear, full of surprises. Life can change in a minute. Give a hug, give a kiss to the one that you love, 'cause the world turns one way, just one way. Why people see what they wanna see? Why people hear what they wanna hear? Why people feel what they wanna feel? The blue sky covers us like a sky. What a shame, there's so much pain, so many things with time might change. The world has always gone one way. Why are we trying to spin the wrong way? Let's bring love and hope to cure the pain. We can learn from our mistakes. Why don't we allow ourselves to create so much pain? Together we can build a better world. I wanna say I still believe that we all can change.
Traigo un mensaje por un mundo unido. Dale para arriba, todo el mundo encendido. Sin divisiones, sin barrera. Sabor latino se formó la berraquera. Ponle azúcar y ponle canela. El mundo entero se vuelve una fiesta. Yo estoy clarito, oye mi pana, que al final el amor siempre gana.
Bolivia is home to over 30 official languages.
Believe it or not, Brazil has the most animal and plant species than any other country in the whole world.
It has also been the largest producer of coffee for the last 150 years.
The Amazon River starts in Peru.
Kaitor Falls in Guyana is the world's largest single-drop waterfall of 741 feet.
And Venezuela is home to Angel Falls, the world's highest waterfall, with a height of 979 meters, in a plunge of 807 meters.
And also, did you know that Paraguay's people make the finest lace in the world, called Nyanduti, which translates to spider web.
Uruguay has the longest national anthem in the world. It takes 6 minutes to perform.
Colombia has a naturally occurring rainbow river.
Please welcome the President of the Republic of Peru, Pedro Castillo.
Mr. President of the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen, heads of state and government, Secretary Generals of the United Nations and of the Organization of American States, special guests, members of delegations, ladies and gentlemen, Peru hosted the 8th Summit of the Americas in 2018. We welcomed in Lima the heads of state and government of the countries of the Americas. We did so because we believe this mechanism as a valuable space for joint action. It should constantly be strengthened and promoted. Since the first summit, also held in the United States in Miami in 1994, we have been invited to dialogue on different common concerns. We have developed a shared vision for the future development of our region. We also have an opportunity of sharing important achievements. I'm specifically talking about the establishment of the CEO Summit Dialogue, which has been facilitated by the Inter-American Development Bank, the Inter-American Democratic Charter mandated by the Quebec Summit in 2001 and approved in Lima that same year, also promotes us to further put into action the Inter-American Convention Against Corruption and the Inter-American Convention Against Terrorism, among others. I would particularly like to refer to the Lima Commitment. This was adopted in said summit in Peru. We picked as a central issue one of the most widespread problems and harmful problems in the world and in the hemisphere. I'm specifically talking about corruption. In its text, we have 57 actions. Since then, they have guided the efforts of our countries to combat and eradicate, discourage, and strengthen democratic governance and the protection of human rights. Back then in Lima, the countries of the Americas established the need to go beyond the adoption of the agreements. We recognized the importance of giving continuity to the commitments made to that end. In this sense, we set up a follow-up mechanism. This mechanism allows states, civil society organizations, and in general, citizens of the continent to verify compliance of each and every commitment and to know the degree of progress in the implementation of public policies against corruption. This mechanism is part of the common heritage of the Americas. It is a valuable management tool to move from the words to actions. 4 years after those meetings, we are now facing renewed challenges. These challenges have come about as a result of unprecedented and extremely difficult situations that have been caused by the COVID-19 pandemic and the international situation. We therefore welcome with great satisfaction that many of these concerns have been reflected in the topics rightly proposed by the United States as host country. We seek to build on what has already been achieved. This is a healthy practice that we must continue. We also wish to outline initiatives to alleviate the multidimensional crisis we have been going through. This crisis is hitting the most disadvantaged sectors of our population in the most dramatic manner. I would like to conclude by expressing my pleasure and my gratitude for the generous hospitality of the government and peoples of the United States, and especially to this magnificent city of Los Angeles. Today, you are welcoming us. I hope that the success of this 9th Summit of the Americas will be a significant achievement of our continent, and Peru will contribute decisively to reach that goal. America for the Americans. Thank you very much.
In 1994, our hemisphere came together in Miami For the first time in history, our leaders set forth a plan of action to strengthen democracy, to promote economic prosperity, to eradicate poverty and discrimination, and to guarantee sustainable development. In the 28 years since, we have built on that progress. Enemies have made peace. Partners have worked together to drive shared economic growth. And when disaster struck, the region provided much-needed relief. The nations of the Americas have joined forces to fight crime and corruption, to combat climate change, and to curb the COVID-19 pandemic. Through it all, it's as important as ever for us to support democracy, as well as the sovereignty of nations, the integrity of elections, and the rights of all people.
So for the sake of all those in our country and our region who call ourselves Americans, let's take up together the work of building the hemisphere where every child in every country grows up with opportunity, security, and freedom.
Today, 28 years after the first summit, nations have come together again. This time in another city that celebrates its diversity, Los Angeles. The challenges that the region and the world now face are as great as they have ever been, as economies are being rebuilt, as health systems and our environment are being tested. The critical work continues at this year's summit, a place for solutions.
Damas y caballeros, el presidente de los Estados Unidos. Buenas tardes, por favor siéntense. Bienvenidos a Los Ángeles. Y debería aquí mismo frenarme para decir que he visto
I follow some difficult acts, but never before have I followed such a difficult act as I've seen the last 45 minutes up here. It's my honor to host my fellow leaders from throughout our hemisphere for the 9th Summit of the Americas, at a moment when we need more cooperation, common purpose, and transformative ideas that have never been a greater need than today. I also want to welcome all the representatives from civil society, the private sector, international institutions, and especially young people from across